Just before we start, this video will be based on my opinion, so please don't get offended. So, today's topic is going to be all about Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CSGO for short. I will compare it with previous editions of Counter-Strike, such as 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source. What is Counter-Strike Global Offensive? Well, it's quite simple. Like every other Counter-Strike game, there are two teams, terrorists that either hold hostages in a building or plant C4 explosives somewhere in a worst possible place in a map. Then there are counter-terrorist unit that is made out of different groups of special forces like Gigan, SEAL teams, GSG-9 and SAS. Their main task is to save hostages from hostage maps like CS Office, CS Assault and etc. or defuse a bomb before it detonates in a maps like the Dust 2 or the Aztec. It's not just all about rescuing hostages or defusing bombs. There are few more type of game modes and maps made by community. Maps named DE are focused on defusing or detonation, DM for deathmatches, FY for team deathmatches in the small maps, for example 5 pool day. AIM is for sniper maps, ZM for zombie modes and few more. Now there is quite a large difference between these three games. For example, Counter-Strike 1.6 is more focused on ultimate death or team deathmatches in a small maps, like most played is the Dust 2x2, which is half of the original map to make it go faster and more interesting, as people will find each other very short time. Counter-Strike Source has its own team single deathmatches, but there is one game mode which suits it better, because it shares Half-Life 2 engine. That is zombie mode. Zombie mode in Counter-Strike Source is the best thing ever, because if you have a good team of people, you can just hide in a small room and use weapons to push furniture around to block the windows and doors to prevent zombies from infecting you. That is actually pretty good. CSGO is a bit different. Every time when I hear about CSGO, it's not about the gameplay. It's about in-game content called skins, textures, stickers, whatever you call them. Those are something you can collect for your arsenal. To obtain skins, you need to play in VAX servers. It's a server that is protected against cheats, and if you cheat, you get permanently banned. Drop rate is higher if you play in more competitive servers. So here is another thing. You need to buy these keys to unlock the cases that contain the skins. A single key costs about $2.50. And another thing is with these cases, even if you buy a key and unlock a case, you could get a good skin or a bad skin. It's on around them. Bad skins are very cheap and you can barely make any profit of it whatsoever. While some other skins are so expensive that I could buy a cheap car for that money. Some skins I have seen go up to at least $500. That's a hell a lot of money for a digital art on a weapon. Another thing that I find very disturbing and cringeworthy is people live streaming cases opening for hours. You can always see their reaction on getting very terrible skins, from what they start yell and swear, throw shit around, and they do the same when they get a good skin. They start screaming and just going nuts over some digital art.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my god! Yes! 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 Please, 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 please. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! What the fuck is a condition?
My cousin plays CSGO a lot. He trades skins a lot, but he is a good example. He deals with it very calmly and doesn't act like a total ape from getting a shitty or good skin. What happened to Counter-Strike? Back in 1.6, if we wanted to have a cool design on our guns, we could just modify the game files, change texture and etc. Nowadays you must pay for everything, even for a goddamn spray. Back in old days, you could just spray as much as you like with a 1 minute cooldown. Now you must pay to use it, which I find complete bullshit. What's next, Valve? Charge people real life money for ammunition, $3.99 for a mag, $2 for a suppressor? CS 1.6 may be super old game, but it's still played by thousands of people all over the world, because that is the best game, unlike CSGO. Anyway, this is all the rant I could really make about CSGO. I do apologize for the previous video of me using robot voice. I still have a small toothache, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.